All right, welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to put on our detective hats and really dig into one of the most important processes in all of project management, identifying risk. You see, every single project, I don't care how big or small, is packed with uncertainty. So let's get right into it and figure out how to find those hidden risks before they find us. So I want you to think of yourself as a risk detective. Seriously, your whole mission is to investigate your project, to uncover all those hidden uncertainties that are, just lurking beneath the surface. And these aren't just problems waiting to happen. Nope, they're clues. Clues to what could go wrong for sure, but also what could go surprisingly right. So what are we actually looking for here? Well, if you look at the official definition from the project management body of knowledge, the PMBoK, a project risk is basically any uncertain event or condition that, if it happens, could have a positive or a negative effect on your project goals. The key word there, the one I really want you to focus on, is uncertain. We're not talking about things we know are going to happen. We're talking about the what-ifs. And this is absolutely crucial to remember. Risk isn't always a bad thing. A really good detective looks for two kinds of clues. On one hand, you've got your threats. These are the negative risks, the stuff that could completely derail your schedule or just blow your budget out of the water. But on the other hand, you have opportunities. These are the positive risks, the things that could actually help you finish early, save a ton of money, or even deliver a better product than you planned. You got to look for both.
Okay, so where does any investigation start? It starts with gathering evidence, right? For us, in project management, that means pulling together all the key documents for your case. These are your first set of clues, and trust me, they're going to tell you exactly where to start looking for risks.
All right, let's get into the specifics. You've got your project charter. That tells you the why behind the whole project. Then there's the work breakdown structure, or WBS. Think of that like a detailed map of the entire project, broken down into smaller, more manageable pieces. Your schedule and cost estimates? Those are like treasure maps that can point right to potential overruns. And the assumption list? That's a total goldmine, because every single assumption you make is a potential risk if it turns out to be wrong.
So, you've got your case files all laid out. Now it's time to open up your specialized toolkit. These are the proven methods, the techniques that great project managers use to actively dig in and uncover those risks that, aren't just sitting there on the surface.
And here's the thing. You can't solve this case all by yourself. No way. The most valuable information is often locked away inside the heads of your team members, your stakeholders, and your subject matter experts. The trick is using structured techniques to get that crucial information out into the open.
So what's in this toolkit? Well, you've got techniques like brainstorming, where you get the whole team in a room just to throw ideas around. There's something called the Delphi technique, which is a really cool way to get anonymous, unbiased opinions from experts. But two of the most powerful methods, the ones we're going to look at, are direct interviewing of your key people and this fantastic framework called a SWOT analysis.
Okay, let's zoom in on this SWOT thing. Think of it like creating a complete profile of your project. It's a tool that forces you and your team to look at the whole case from 4 very different, very critical angles. It really helps make sure you don't miss a thing.
The real power of SWOT is how it gives you this 360-degree view. You start by looking inside the project. What are our strengths? And let's be honest, what are our weaknesses? This forces some real honesty. Then you look outside the project. What opportunities are out there that we could grab, and what external threats are looming on the horizon? See? By mapping all this out, you start to uncover your blind spots and systematically identify risks from pretty much every angle you can think of.
All right, so you've gathered your clues, you've used your tools, and you've got a list of potential risks. What happens now? You can't just keep all that in your head, right? Nope. You need to formally document every single finding in your official case file, the risk register. The risk register is, without a doubt, the single most important output of this entire process. It's a living document that literally logs every risk you've identified. And for each risk, you're going to jot down a clear description, its potential causes, and you'll start thinking about its probability and how big its impact on the project could be.
Here, let's look at a really simple example. Let's say we have risk ID 001. The description is, delay in receiving key hardware. Okay, what's the cause? Single supplier located in a different country. And the potential impact? A 2-week slip in our development schedule. See how clear and straightforward that is? When you document risks this way, they stop being scary, abstract ideas and become tangible, manageable problems.
So finding the risks, that is a huge step.
But the investigation is far from over. In fact, identifying all these risks is really just the beginning of a much larger process.
Let's pull back and look at the whole investigation, the whole process. Risk identification, which is everything we've just covered, is only step 2. What's next? Well, now you have to analyze your clues. You've got to prioritize the most urgent ones, plan how you're going to respond, and then keep a close eye on everything as the project unfolds. Each one of these steps builds on the last, creating this solid defense against all that project uncertainty.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Your goal as a project manager isn't to run a project with 0 risks. I mean, that's just impossible. Your real job is to be the best detective you can be. It's to uncover those risks early, to really understand them, and then to plan exactly how you're going to navigate them to lead your project to a successful conclusion. That's what it's all about.